Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning. What a day we have in front of us here on halftime and across the state of Razorback land. It's good to be with you. Phil Elson at Paul Walker Stadium, Matt Jones and the C Unit at our ESPN Arkansas headquarters. Morning, beautiful day up here in Fayetteville. Might have some changes in Razorback athletics today at some point. Who knows? But the reports, if the reports are right, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be, if they're coming in from reputable sources. Muss is interviewing with USC for the head men's basketball job right now. And I don't know if that feels like a formality or not, but maybe it does feel a little bit like a formality. So, Matt, we could be in for an interesting day.
It's kind of like a polyamorous relationship, huh? The times are changing. Ron Burgundy had never heard that song. If you want to go, you don't want to be here, just the same thing as the portal. You want to go somewhere else, then go on. I wish you the best.
Time-honored tradition in college sports for something like this to potentially happen. It's kind of new that the players get a chance to do this too, with all the movement. So I don't know what the time frame is as far as when the interview occurs and everything else that goes along with it. But I agree with you, Matt. It's I feel it's a little bit different than just like testing the waters and seeing what's out there, because I think that's been going on for a while right now.
Right, having your agent talk to somebody or somebody call your agent's different than getting on a plane and going to their campus.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, what was that, the Florida State coach? I don't know that he went to Alabama's campus, but the Alabama people went to his campus, right? That was the difference. It'd be different if USC comes to Arkansas to get him. When he's seeking him out, going out there, it sounds like he wants to be somewhere else.
I could at least make an argument too that it's a step up from Florida State to Alabama, even with what they've got right now at Florida State and the history there. It's still kind of a step up, to go to Alabama. I mean, you get a coach that competed for a national championship at Washington that decided to move along. And oh, by the way, the person who hired that head coach, Kalen DeBoer at Washington, is the person who's interviewing Eric Musselman right now. Jen Cohen is the athletics director at USC. She was the Washington athletics director when she hired DeBoer, and that was only 2 years ago, and then helped them move into the Big Ten and then takes a bigger job at USC. Although when you think about USC, basketball is way down on the list. In fact, you think about USC women's basketball before you think about men's basketball.
O.J. Mayo, is he the best USC player in the last 20 years? I know baby Jordan Harold Minor is a USC guy, but I think O.J. Mayo, when I try to think of, SC players that are studs, you think the Trojan football team if you're thinking USC.
And for years, you might even think about the baseball team if you were that into college athletics, but USC baseball hasn't been necessarily like a huge player in about 24 years or so, but basketball has never been. And they had a good run under Andy Enfield. That's a step down. That's the only way I can put it. I don't think Enfield was making the same amount of money that Muss is making at Arkansas. I'm sure that if they want him as the head coach, they'll at least have to match what the Razorbacks are paying, maybe a little bit more because of the tax situation that you've alluded to in California, Matt. But there's no doubt it is a step down. Now, going from USC basketball to SMU basketball, I kind of, with SMU moving into the Atlantic Coastal, the ACC, I don't know, that's like a sideways move. But with the idea that when you get a good team at Arkansas, you can sell the place out. You can get 18,000 in the stadium, and that it is the biggest thing going on in the months of December and in January and February and March in the entire state of Arkansas. This is a bigger job. This is a better job than USC. Not just the attention that goes along with it, but I think the ability to succeed. Now, USC moving to the Big Ten, I think things get probably a little bit tougher for them in that league. And they've always been the second class citizen of college basketball, even in their own city, with UCLA obviously being front of the list. So I don't know. I mean, it almost feels like some people have been looking at this from the perspective that Muss has been looking for a way out for the last couple of months. I have a tough time buying the idea that you can look for other jobs when they're not even open. But at the same time, in his mind, maybe that thought was there. I got to get out of here. And I don't know the reason why. If it's a matter of relationships gone sour, or just sticking around at a place for too long when a rolling stone gathers no moss, or muss in this case. I mean, and he is, Matt, he is the, in a coaching profession, which is itinerant to begin with, Muss is one of the, he's been a rolling stone for a long time. Maybe it's just general restlessness. I don't know.
You know, he accomplished a lot of good things here. He's, you know, you look at his career here, you're very thankful to have him. I'm with you. I don't understand what what's so good about USC, but sometimes people just need change every few years. And if you look at how his resume is, you know, he's not going to be anywhere 7 years. You know, he's going to go somewhere and get in, get out. And he'll make USC a better program right away. As soon as he gets there, USC gets better. That's no question about it. What are you going to do? You thank him for your time, and thanks for the memories. Thanks for getting Arkansas basketball back going a little bit. We had some down years, and then wish him well. You know, I don't know what else you can do.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right way to go about it. It's not. There's no reason to throw, you know, insults or anything about that. It's just this. I almost have a sense that when Muss was hired and you looked at the track record, you're kind of wondering, all right, even with success, how long does he stay at Arkansas? But I expected that the next job would be a blue blood,
a better job. That's right. That's what I thought too. I didn't think it would be leaving after you don't make the tournament and you're down, you're below 500 and you're just kind of getting out of Dodge. I thought it would be, we went 30-4 and we're Nationals runner up, or made back-to-back Final Fours, and now he's going to Kentucky. Now he's going to UCLA. You know, something like that. Well,
look at the outroar, the uproar across the state because of how bad this last season was in basketball, and a lot of that had to do with he just had this great postseason success 3 years in a row, and all the hype going into this season, and it just crumbled, totally crumbled, and I mean, that turns into the number one topic across the state, and an uproar. And so we got to figure out how to fix this right now. With the kind of season that USC basketball just had, and I think they had expectations too. They've had a good run under Enfield of late. They finish under 500. It's a big yawn in Southern California. It's not a matter of, we're going to argue about how this team has to be reconstructed and everything. That's left to the websites, like the On3 website that broke the news that Muss is interviewing for this job. If they're sub 500 in Southern California, it becomes a total afterthought. Not to the people that run the athletics department, not to, I guess, the 5,000 people or so that show up for men's games, but it doesn't have the same effect as when you have a bad year at Arkansas. And that's got to grind on you. Especially for somebody, look, I understand some coaches will say, I'm not going to pay attention to what's on social media, but for those who are on social media and obviously put stuff out there on a routine basis, I think they do pay attention to that. In some small way, that's got to, I don't know, maybe grind on you a little bit. I don't think it has the same situation in basketball at USC. Now, if Lincoln Riley were to have the same kind of season that they just had with football as they enter the Big Ten, yeah, different situation. They care a heck of a lot more about football in USC and Southern California than they do about USC basketball. Matt, maybe that's got to have something to do with it, but I agree with you too. I would like, if this is the last day that he's under contract as the Arkansas head coach, hey, you got him back to, relevancy isn't the right word, but got him back to being a major player on the national scene that got somewhere in March. It didn't happen the last year.
Yeah, you made some noise. I think he left the program better than when he got here. Had some success, had some big moments. You look at the talent that came through here. You tip your hat and say thanks, Coach. Good luck. I know you'll have continued success.
And the other thing is too. I mean, this is an interview. It is just an interview. I don't know how many other coaches USC has interviewed or planned on interviewing, but we are acting here as if he's already taken the job, as if there has been an offer. Now, I would just expect the fact that, like you'd said earlier in this segment, Matt, this is different than just conversations over the phone, some text messages being fired back and forth. Heck, it's different than if you did a Zoom interview. The coach is on campus. He is on campus at USC, speaking with people there on campus that have the decision to make. So with the knowledge of that, I mean, can we go to the perspective potentially of what if they don't offer him the job, or what if the negotiations break down and they're not willing to offer what Muss asks for? I guess those would also have to be preliminary discussions with an agent before the interview takes place. But let's just say that in the off chance this doesn't happen, he comes back to Arkansas. I mean,
he's not coming back.
That's how I feel.
It's
that's
zero
how I feel.
After seeing what Yurichek's video, the propaganda video, and hearing everything that's coming out, I put it at 0.1%. Like
so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, Samsonite. I was way off. He's not coming back.
That propaganda video that you said, I mean, when you look back on that now with the perspective of this, that almost feels like Hunter Yurichek opening the door for Muss and offering him to step out of the house and then close the door behind him. That's what that feels like to me. Almost like not a dare, but like, yeah, you know what? I know that you're looking for other jobs, and I know that this one over here may come open. I don't think USC was open when that video came out. So, but it does feel like a little bit of a nudge. A little bit of a nudge towards that open door.
I just wonder who, you think about the basketball circuit. Do you go get a mid-major coach, somebody who was at a FAU, somebody who's, that one of these teams that made a run, or do you try to go get somebody in conference? Chris Beard just signed an extension. He has Arkansas ties. Do you try to get somebody that's in the SEC that's already got, because really these institutions are just the arm of the name. The brand is Buzz Williams. The name is Eric Musselman. The name, they're associated with the universities. Shaka Smart, wherever he goes, VCU, Texas Marquette. It's Shaka Smart basketball. It's not Marquette basketball.
The players are signing to play for that.
That's why I wonder do you go get a young and up and comer, or do you get somebody who's already got that cachet?
Well, who knows what happens over the course of about a 3-hour radio program, but if it doesn't happen while we're on the air, Ruskin and Zach get a chance to break the news for you, too. Halftime today on a Wednesday includes the one and only Clay Henry. Will join us at 12 noon, and in just a moment, we get a chance to talk with Grant Hall. I think Grant was in on a Zoom press conference that Dave Van Horn had as they prep for Arkansas versus Ole Miss, another series to start on a Thursday tomorrow. Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. That's a dealership serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years. You see them right there at the junction of I-40 and I-49 beside the Cracker Barrel, also online at CrabtreeRV.com. They'll help you with the best experience. Choose the right RV for your adventures. Service and parts department on site and everything you need in between at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Grant Hall stops by halftime in just a moment.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Back in Dave Van Horn's playing days, what walk-up song would you walk out to going to the batter's box?
Do I have to use music from the 70s and early 80s?
Anything you want. The floor is yours.
Back then, it was probably REO Speedwagon, wasn't it?
That'd be a good one. Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Hey, I'm Hagan Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. Sign up now for Pascal's Planned Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Need a new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100. Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com.
Have you heard? TGI Fridays is having happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 till 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. to close with half-price drinks and $5 select appetizers, including potato skin, spinach dip, pot stickers, and much more. Plus, you can get in on 50-cent Wing Monday from 5 p.m. to close. And karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 8 p.m. It's all at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
How I knew about your plan to make it through. But some other guy that you knew before. Those guys, you know I love you more. You took me by surprise, I must say. Then I found out yesterday. Ooh, I played it to the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Ooh, I played it to the grapevine. And I'm just about to lose my mind. Honey, yeah.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I just realized that, and I'd only have to do it if he does take the job today. But if Muss is no longer the Arkansas head basketball coach, I got to make a change on the show open. We've got him talking about halftime on the show open ever since you joined the show, Matt. So I may have a little extra work later today. We'll see. Grant Hall's on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Grant, good morning. What's going on?
Well, that could just be a nostalgia piece, Phil.
Sure.
It's part of the history, right?
I guess
yeah,
so.
I don't know. Last night I left after 3 innings, not because it was 13-0, but because I was getting so many calls, and I was kind of walking around in and around Walker Stadium, and there wasn't much privacy. So I ended up talking to a couple of guys, and I got two diametrically opposed viewpoints. One said that nothing's going on. There's been no interview. There's not going to be an interview, and he would know if there were. And then the other guy said, yes, Eric and Hunter have been butting heads a little bit. You've been sort of seeing it in although, the Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette today framed it that it basically from Hunter, it was almost like positive, But anyway, we'll sit here patiently and see what happens today. There are some things just for context, I think, that are interesting. Eric there has been some sort of inquiry, I think, into the DePaul and Louisville jobs. And even going back to, I believe after his first year, is that when Arizona came open? I believe Eric looked into that. So, we're in an era, guys, where you can't, Frank Broyles told us, remember when Houston Nutt had the flirtation with LSU, and he said you can't afford for any kind of thing like that to get out there in public. You start losing your support, your fan support. And so, if it comes to the point where there's an actual interview, like I had one guy tell me that Eric talked to him 2 days ago at USC, and today was a formality. I don't know anything, and I'm just going to suspend until something actually happens. It's been pretty quiet, but it's only about 9-something out there on the coast.
I'm with you, Grant. I think that if they had been talking and now he flies out there, I think it's a done deal. Now, I don't know, like I have no sort, but I think that if you're looking at the last 10, 20 years of how these coaches operate and just how it goes, I think he's gone. That being said, do you have a short list? Where do you think? You got to think Hunter has a short list of guys he wants. Who do you think would be the next ball coach?
Everyone I've talked to about this says Chris Beard. He's not signed the deal yet with Ole Miss that we read about. In fact, people have even told me that he's been really interested for a year and has thought for a year that this job might come open, and biding his time, and that he really enjoyed his experience in Little Rock, really likes the Arkansas people. Thinks it's a great job. I heard an interview with him not too long ago where he was having fun with the interviewer, and it kind of gave us a side we don't usually see of him. Now, yeah, there are some things in his past that the AD would have to go through and deal with, but that's the name I'm hearing. But again, the other part is just, there's a lot of stuff there that just doesn't add up to me. So, we'll see.
A lot of stuff not adding up right now. That's for certain. But all you know is right now is that the program's in limbo. I'm sure. It's like what Burns said, the athletics director at Alabama. You're not doing your job if you don't always have a list of coaches that you on any sport that you have ready to go, because you got to be ready for anything.
And Frank Broyles used to say that too. So I'll tell you one interesting thing. A guy told me yesterday that who knows Eric Musselman and has had some dealings with him in different ways. He said he told him within the last year, he looked him in the eye and said, when I'm 65 years old, I'm going to be in San Diego on the beach. Well, what is that, 5 or 6 years?
I think that's 6 years from now, yeah.
Yeah, so, this would just be a little earlier, I guess, in that stated goal to go. Another thing that happened that, as I think about this, over Christmas, maybe it was you'd have to, Phil, you might know, but Arkansas played on about the 23rd and they beat somebody. It was a close game, and Eric said, "Well, I'm going to go out to Los Angeles for 3 days, but if we'd have lost this game, I'd have stayed here and worked on this the whole time, you know. So he did go out there during that time. Now, there are those who have said that Dutcher of San Diego State might go to USC. Why he would do that, I have no idea. They were a Final Two team last year. But if that happened, then San Diego State would come open, where, you know, I mean, Eric played at San Diego University. A guy told me yesterday, well, he would never coach San Diego State. He hates them. Yeah, but what if he loves living in the area? You know, so I mean, there's all kinds of things flying around, and I guess it you know, others, like for example, look at the players that are still here. Someone said yesterday, well, maybe they're still here because they might look forward to a different coach. You know, I mean, I don't know if they get. What do you think, Matt? I mean, Mark and Battle, are those guys? What do you think their future is next year?
Man, I'm a Tremont Mark fan, Grant. I think he's our best two-way player. I think Battle has a lot of promise. I mean, the dude he's just a walking bucket and just an unbelievable offensive player. I think there's room for improvement. I think we need some bigs. You know, the way the game is, where they're all independent contractors now, and it's 1-year deals. I honestly don't know. I know when it was my time when I was playing, it was the relationship with the coach was. I mean, that's 70% of it. I think that's what sways. So it'd be interesting to see how many of these guys that you think come back, but. Man, I'm a big-time Tremont Mark fan. I think he's our best player.
Let me throw a little monkey wrench into that, too, here, because if he is interviewing for the job now and it's out there and everybody's aware of this, and I'm sure that the players, you know, they have more inside info than any of us do as far as Muss's mindset and maybe where they think his attention was. How many of them right now would think about transferring just because his mind is not on building the Razorback basketball team right now, right? I mean, if they're thinking to themselves, I came to play for this coach, but right now it doesn't really look like he wants to be here, so what am I going to do?
There are just 4 left anyway.
Right, then there's not that many of them.
Lot.
Yeah.
I can remember as long ago as the Kent State thing when we got on at the newspaper that Stan Heath was coming as the coach. It was because one of the young reporters called some of the players, you know, and found out that's kind of how they got that story. But it's funny, Matt, you mentioned something triggered me to say this because this is off the sub. This is football, but you're 6'6", right? And Talon Green, I think, is at least 6'6". He might be 6'7". I mean, I saw Bobby comes up to about his shoulders, you know, the other day at practice, and because I was asking Bobby yesterday after his press conference about the interception that Talon Green threw, and he said, well, because he threw the ball with confidence. He threw it as a nice pass. You know, it just got picked off by Hudson, right? Hudson Clark. And so he said, well, he didn't see Hudson Clark back there. I don't know if he was hiding or what, but you know, he didn't read the safety. And he talked about how he wants him to come over the top. He's already tall enough to see over everybody, you know, and if he can start throwing over the top, he thinks that percentage will really increase. So I'm guessing that helped you a lot. Being tall, right? Seeing over everybody.
And so this, I'm sure they do this drill too. But what they'll do is they put, it's like a, you know, the thing they throw the ball into. It's like a net with the holes, and you try. So what you do is you raise that up a little bit to about 8 foot, 9 foot. And when you're throwing a 6 route, a crosser route, when you're throwing a seam route, there's certain routes over the middle that are about, I don't know, the sweet spot, 16 to 22 yards. You're throwing it on a level 2, so you're getting over the top where that ball starts over, and then you're coming down on it where it comes down over the fence and starts to drop, where you're able to throw it right up. But it's not a sail ball where it's a level 3 ball. It's a level 2 ball. It's one of the throws that KJ struggles with the most. It's one of the toughest throws in football is that level 2 intermediate throw. And it sounds like that. I mean, what he's saying is right. If he can get that done, man, you can open up so much of the offense if you can make that throw.
The other thing with him, Matt, is leadership too. You know, they brought 3 quarterbacks in after the scrimmage on Saturday, and just the way the other 2 guys looked at him, I mean, they like him, and he's got that kind of personality that galvanizes, and that it thing you look for in a quarterback. So I think all signs are good for him.
Yeah, I mean, players are attracted to talent. I know, Grant, when a guy like a Marcus Monk came in, when a guy like Peyton Hillis came in, a Jamal Anderson on the other side of the ball. When the guys like that come in, you can tell, man. You can say, hey, that guy can go, and you're drawn to him.
Well, we'll all just sit here and see what happens today, guys.
Pretty much what it's about.
Yeah.
You don't have any. There's no basketball games to watch, so it's just this is it as far as basketball is concerned.
Caitlin Clark on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a little bit of Augusta National Women's Amateur. Maria Jose Marina was even par the last time I checked. I think the leader was 4 under, and if she makes the top 30 these next 2 days, then she gets to play Augusta National on Saturday.
Hey, Grant, we'll see you at Ball and Walker this weekend, okay? Appreciate your time.
All right, see you.
It's Grant Hall with us here on Halftime. 877-377-6963 if you want to talk about the top topic of the day or anything else. That's the McClarty Daniel hotline, and Halftime is back right after this.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The tournament is here. BetOnline is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contests out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round right up to the national championship. You can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or your mobile device and even track your bracket real-time all the way through the tournament. Head to BetOnline today and get in on all the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video.
jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You love me no longer, I know, and baby, there is nothing that I can do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I always should stick to another man, a man that surely deserves me, but I think I do. You love me, say that you love me, for me, pretend that you love me, just say that you need me, I cry, and I beg for you to.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, Matt, good choice of music, man. Brings me back to college radio days at WPPJ Radio, Point Park College. I played that song and The Distance by Cake, probably more than any other two songs out of the selection we had on the wall. And those were carts that we had to pull off the wall, stick in a cart machine, push play, turn the knob up. It's a little different in radio now.
Short skirt, long jacket, rock and roll lifestyle. That was a great album.
877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Charlie's here with us. He can be a love fool, too. I don't know if Charlie doesn't realize that's the name of the song that just played. I'm not calling you a love fool. But what's up, Charlie? How are you?
What's up, guys? Phil, hey, did you live the rock and roll lifestyle? Did you have the long hair back then? What was the deal?
Is it you or your parents in this income tax
As long as soda cans are red, white, and blue ones.
Yeah. No, I don't live a rock and roll lifestyle. I still kind of live a minor league baseball lifestyle in a sense. Very transient, between 2 or 3 places every single day.
I understand. You know, the whole Muss thing, I think, you know, for me, Matt, you said something at the beginning of the show, you know, look, yeah, there I'm with you guys, you know, if he wants to move on, I have no issue. My issue with this whole thing is people are trying to discredit his time here, you know, saying, oh, you didn't have this, you didn't have a great conference record and all this. Look, he had 8 tournament wins?
He gets Charlie, for me, he gets a B plus, A minus would be his grade. If you're talking about his 4 years here right now, how do you not be thankful for? I think it's good. I think it's 100% a passing grade.
Look, Charlie, I think I've said this before, and I think a lot of people in college basketball can view it this way too. The regular season is all about positioning yourself to have the best run you possibly can in the postseason. Now, you can have a great regular season, but if you have a bad postseason, that's what people are going to remember. You have a regular season that includes a losing record in conference. If you make it to the Sweet 16, you beat the last year's national champion. That's what people are going to remember. So you get your mind made up for you sometimes, but I think in this case, if we're pointing to the losing record in conference for a couple of years, I think people have their mind made up about that to begin with anyway.
Absolutely. That's not my thing. I'm with you guys. I'd rather, you know.
I think Muss's time here at Arkansas has been tremendous. Outside of this season, outside of this year, it's been tremendous.
It's B plus, A minus work. It's 8 out of 10. Yeah, like it's a passing grade in every way.
Did Charlie leave? I guess he hung up because we started talking. He usually hangs up if the two of us start going back. I thought Charlie was going to have another thing to say there.
Sorry, Charlie.
It's all right, Charlie. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and Sean from Alma texts in and I didn't want to say it in these because I don't think it's about relevance. I think Arkansas was perfectly relevant with Mike Anderson as the head coach. You didn't win in March. That's what that was about. I mean, maybe that's in your mind, Sean, the relevance, because there are a lot of people that aren't watching a lot of college basketball until March, and then you enter the national conversation. But I think Arkansas basketball was perfectly relevant under Mike Anderson. It's just Muss added, what's the word here? Is it energy? Is it a
Riz?
Thank you. Yes. The Riz, to use the new term.
That's the first time I've ever used that term.
He did bring that back. Well, I think you nailed the definition. Be careful.
It's going to be a long year.
We can't throw that word out there too often very much. But yeah, there was some of that. And what would Riz be? I mean, it's charisma. It's short for charisma, and I think Muss displayed that. I think the team played with charisma a lot, and when you win in March, people pay attention to you more.
Unbelievable energy, a work ethic, a want to. I think it mattered to him. I think going out there and competing. I mean, what can you say? I mean, he did good work here at Arkansas.
Yeah, I agree. I think he did good work here. It's just that there's a weird feeling of taking a job that's a step down. You know, I mean, I'm sure there'll be. Look, Andy Enfield was asked yesterday at an introductory press conference at SMU. He was flat out honest about it. I took this job because they moved to the ACC. Like, I'm sure he's getting a raise. If that's a school that was able to raise over $100 million in just days after they announced the move to the ACC, I'm sure he's making more than the $3.8 million that USC was paying him. But on the other hand, why would you be leaving a Big Ten job for the American Conference? No, it's the ACC. It's a chance to, I guess in his mind, stay in a major league and move up a little bit. I do wonder what the ACC is going to look like though moving forward. Like whatever that conference looks like now, it's different in 2 years. So we'll see if he's still there in 2 years. Muss will have a press conference if he takes this job. He'll be asked the question too, and I'd be riveted to hear the answer of what it is about USC outside of Los Angeles,
location,
major city, location, closer to mom. Maybe in a place that he feels more comfortable. Was he not comfortable in Fayetteville or in a place like Northwest Arkansas? You know, if there was an overture to DePaul, like really? I mean, were you really looking to move to DePaul? That's a serious step down. Even if it's Chicago, even if it's the Big East, that's a humongous step down. Louisville, I could have understood. SMU is a step down. USC is a step down. So with all of the lauding that we can do here for the job done at Arkansas, it's a step down. And that to me looks weird. Looks very weird. And it's not a good look for Arkansas, but I mean that only lasts until the next coach is hired, and then you go from there.
Your the OC that Chip Kelly, he was the head coach at UCLA and now he's the OC at Ohio State.
Right.
That's a little bit of a step down. I mean, it's in football it's a step up as far as your conference, but head coach to OC, especially a veteran guy like that. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I feel I don't know I don't think it's do you think it's basketball reasons? I think there's other reasons why he would be moving out west.
You can obviously attract talent to Arkansas. I mean, just look at the NBA rosters. You got how many former Razorbacks in there? Even guys that just played for Muss over the last few years. You can attract talent here, both in terms of high school talent and in terms of transfer portal talent. There's no doubt, and I'm sure you can get plenty to USC. Bronny James. Bronny James is playing there because
he's in the portal.
Well, he's in the portal. That's right. But why would he have chosen USC? He could have gone anywhere. I just think he might have been more comfortable being, around where his dad is playing too. But now he's not. Now it's a different thing. It's to borrow your terminology, Matt, it is definitely wild out there on the frontier. Very wild on the frontier. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. We'll break here in a moment. Remember about the outstanding specials at Fish City Grill throughout the month of April. Beer-battered cod tacos, fried in house-made beer batter. You'll get slaw with it, Fresno chili tartar, pickled jalapeno, cilantro, and sweet potato fries. Or ask about miso-glazed salmon. Chilean salmon marinated in Asian miso glaze sauce. Comes with sugar snap peas, slaw, and lemon basil rice. That's at Fish City Grill, South Bellevue Road, Rogers. You can also call 479-636-8833 and get your Fish City Grill favorites available for curbside pickup or delivery. FishCityGrill.com, the website. We'll wrap up the first hour of halftime. Stay with us.
This is halftime.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-STORE or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Hi, this is Matt Jones with the Halftime Show, and I will be broadcasting live from the Party Place in Fort Smith on April 8th, or better known as Eclipse Day, from 11 to 2. Halftime will be at their new location at 7810 Rogers Avenue behind Ashley Furniture. It's going to be a Party Place celebration with fun things to do and, of course, giveaways. It's the Halftime Show at the Party Place on Monday, April 8th.
Insurance company throwing you a curveball? Are they crowding the plate and not offering you a fair settlement? If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need an experienced attorney to fight for you. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, no win, no fee. Call Mock Legal Solutions today for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
It might be the first time I've heard that song.
We've played it on here a couple times.
We've played it before.
But that's you like that part, huh?
Maybe it's the first time I'm paying attention to the words. I look good without a shirt on.
That's right. I know voodoo and karate too.
Very good. All right.
I don't need no extra. I'm the leading man.
Do you still look good without a shirt on? I don't know if I do.
Got some money out there. They're giving it away.
877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. What do you got on this trade? Buffalo sending Stephon Diggs to the Texans for draft compensation. I think they'll get basically a second-round pick for next year. I think a fifth-round pick later on and a pick from the Vikings as well. But Stephon Diggs going to catch balls from C.J. Stroud. This is good things for the Texans.
First thing I would do if I was the Texans, I would write a letter to the Carolina Panthers and say thank you, for taking Bryce Young. I'd say y'all are the reason this franchise turned around. Y'all set us up for success, so thank you again for taking Bryce. That's what you do when you're a young coach and you got your quarterback. You got to get him a weapon. I mean, it's Young to Rice. It's Brady to whoever he's throwing to. But you got it's Mahomes to Kelsey. You got to have somebody that's a star, that's an A+, that's a 90 player. Stephon Diggs, Phil, he's a top 10 receiver in the NFL. There's no question about it. I think it's a great move. Has he been in the league 6 years or 8 years?
9 years.
So he's a Mike Evans. He's a little past his prime, but he knows what he is. He has 2 years left at this pace. What he's doing right now, he has 2-3 years left. So you're getting him for just a couple years, but it's a good move. It just shows you care, shows you're trying. He didn't want to be in Buffalo. Last 2 years.
What happened there with him and Josh Allen? They had such a good thing.
Well, he dropped. And really, he dropped the pass. It's on him. He had the ball. That's a pass he catches 100 times out of 100, and he has nobody to blame but himself.
Second round pick is the big. That's decent compensation.
It's great. You want a top 100 pick. That's you find your guys, those top 100, top 90 picks. That's where you're placing your team, the guys that you're hitting on, and then after those rounds, if you can pluck a couple guys, you're doing pretty good.
AFC South ripe for the picking, right?
I think Houston, whatever they're doing, the best move they did is getting DeMarco and D'Amico, getting him as their guy. Like I said, the best thing that happened was Carolina picking one, and they chose wrong, and they got their guy. C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, Phil, is the best quarterback since Andrew Luck. Like, if you're looking at rookie years, you're looking at what's going on, how things are, and just their talent. And I don't mean by success, because didn't Big Ben, did he win a Super Bowl his rookie year, or was it second year?
Second year.
But yeah, so you look at other quarterbacks. I think C.J. Stroud has more talent than Big Ben did if you're just looking at rookie years. And so C.J. Stroud's a stud, and you got to get him some help, and that's what they did. And I love the fact, Phil, that he's a defensive coach, and so that defense is going to be okay. you get a defensive coach, a defense is going to pay. Give me a quarterback, put it in their hands, give them a couple skill position players. They're gonna, that AFC South, that they could be kind of what the Colts were for a while. You just penciled them in, kind of like the Patriots were. You just penciled them in. You're like, man, that's gonna who's win the division. They're gonna be in the playoffs. I think that's you looking for the next decade at Houston. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Remember, Trevor Lawrence had a pretty good rookie year, but then kind of has regressed after that. But with the pieces that the Texans have right now, I would imagine it's set up. It is set up for Houston and C.J. Stroud to continue to get better. Mixon at running back, Nico Collins, Tank Dell joining Diggs at wide receiver, Dalton Schultz at tight end, and yeah, I mean that's. You want to use pencil, or you want to, maybe scratch it in, potentially like erasable pen, just in case.
Well, and you get to play the Colts, you get to play the Titans, you get to play the Jags. That's who you're taking the AFC South. I'm taking the Texans, and I'd give you the other three teams.
Yeah, I'd agree with you too. I'll take you into the second hour of halftime. How about that? The one and only Hall of Famer Clay Henry, who is now writing at hitthatline.com, will be joining us. So stick around. Halftime is back after this.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call your local Shelter agent, Chris Dooley, at 479-646-6792.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny, breezy. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 50s. Mainly clear sky tonight. Overnight low mid-30s north, low 40s south. And then Thursday, blue sky, sunshine. Our high in the low to mid-60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one
and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
That's able one Razorback.
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's go to the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to halftime as we get you into your 12 o'clock hour. Phil Elson with my partner Matt Jones and Christian, the C-Unit Johnston, producing. We go to our McClarty Daniel hotline for the next couple of hours. We have the one and only Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us, who is not just a former editor at Hogs Illustrated. He is now writing at hitthatline.com, so that's outstanding. It's good to have Clay with us today, and just more content from Clay on our website, too. What's up, Clay? How are you?
I'm doing well. Yep, it's I like to write. I'm not saying I don't enjoy radio with you boys, but I really like to write. You know, the tough part about radio is you can't delete a paragraph.
No, you can't. There's not much editing when it comes to live radio or any.
Oh man, there's sometimes you'd like to edit, but you just.
Yeah, I would say that. I'd feel so. I mean, it's obviously natural for you to do that. Sit down and think of something and start hammering it out. It feels weird when I try to do that. Matt, when's the last time you wrote something? Because man, it's probably been. I don't think I've written anything for publication in like 6 or 7 years.
Wasn't that Vin Scully that was reading somebody's grocery list? That might be the last thing I wrote was a grocery list.
Yeah, and hopefully you got everything on the list. That's what really sucks is I'll get a grocery list and I'll get there and I've got the list. I've a little Post-it and I've got it in the cart, looking up there, and then I get all the way to the car and look at my list. It's like, well, I didn't get those two things. I mean, how can you have a list and you fail?
That's like making the 3-point lines opposite. It's like, well, we'll put this one back just a little bit farther.
They did that, didn't they? Yeah, the women's tournament, they had a 3-point line that was off. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, it's some crazy times going on right now at
yes, there are.
At Arkansas Athletics.
It's
Play.
Mystery and intrigue.
Really is. Any time where there's a question as to who your coach is going to be, yes, mystery and intrigue.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It is easily the point in college athletics that creates the most of stir is when there's about to be a coaching change, or there might or there might not be. I mean, we could have either way here. But I will say that mostly when a sitting Power 5 head coach goes for an interview, it's pretty much over.
That's the way that Matt and I both are looking at this. I even tried to throw out the idea of what about the slight chance, since this is apparently just an interview, that they don't offer the job or that the money isn't right and everything. But it does feel much more like a formality. You're flying all the way out.
You're down the road a little bit. Yep.
Absolutely. So
yeah, the numbers should be hashed out. There shouldn't be a surprise on what they're offering when he gets there. That should have been done behind the scenes well before this day. And it's probably a 2-week process that's already been underway. I'm not talking about maybe with him, but with agents and with your people.
This isn't the place where coaches usually leave for other jobs.
Yeah.
Where did Holtz leave for? I'd forgotten the job that he left Arkansas.
He was fired. He was
fired.
He went to Minnesota, and then from there he went to Notre Dame. But he was fired. So
did Sutton go to Kentucky?
Yep. He did, and Hatfield went to Clemson, and Nutt went to Ole Miss. And I think that I always view it as, what is there stress involved? And when there's stress involved, sometimes change of scenery is really a good thing. And I think with Musselman, you could definitely see it this year. The stress of trying to hold it together, and at some point, like, hey, what can I do to change this? Well, sometimes just change of scenery. That's what those football coaches did. Awful lot of stress that was going on with Coach Hatfield and boosters. Some fans weren't happy with a slow offense. When I say slow, they scored points, but it was running the ball a lot. It was an effective way to play football. It still is. Heavy run, but that sometimes is not what people wanted to see. They want to have the ball, and that's largely why Petrino was so popular, is that they threw it and they scored points. It was, Mallett was fun to watch. So, and you had those receivers. So but it wasn't fun this year in basketball after, say, middle of December. You had the great victories in Purdue and Duke, and that's the frustrating part, is that we saw success against two really good teams, but it could not be replicated. It just for whatever reason, it was everything was dysfunctional this year.
I think
and he wasn't happy. You could tell it.
Yeah, now that's what I was going to get into, and I thought maybe when you watching games, you watch his press conferences, you listen to the post game interviews with Chuck, and it was obvious he was miserable. He was just miserable. But I thought that had more to do with the play of the team, the wins and the losses. So
it does.
Well,
yeah.
I think a lot of coaches are going to wear their emotions on their sleeve about
No
it. But
question.
Muss is probably more upfront with those
Man,
emotions.
he's a bad loser, and I don't
Just
want
on
a
his
good
face.
loser. I don't want somebody that's a good loser. Man, that's I watched Tom Crean and some others that have lost in the SEC of late, and man, they were just like so pleasant afterwards. It's like, man, I don't want that. Somebody that's great in the press. John Shire was really great in the press conference after losing, but he didn't lose much, so you can tolerate it. But man, Muss is not a good loser.
But was he upset? Was he miserable because of the losing, or was
Well,
that
I
just
think
part
losing
of it, or
causes
was it also,
that's what I'm getting at.
But
Yeah.
did it have also to do with where he was coaching, where he was living, and just not feeling comfortable there? Because that's how it seems to me now. Otherwise, why are you going to USC? Because that's a step down. I'm sure they're going to pay him well. Maybe it's got to be about geography. But USC is even second class in college basketball in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but I think you're missing the point, and sometimes it is about the scenery. He loves the pro market. He likes to hang out on, and practice of, the NFL teams, the NBA teams, the Major League Baseball he loves. And he'll be out there watching the Dodgers. That's probably not his team. The Padres is more his team, I think. But he's always enjoyed the pro market. And guys, he had 3 days off at Christmas, and their family got in a plane and went to California. And generally, what you do is you have Christmas at home, and you send a plane for, if you can afford it, you can send a net jet for family. If you want them to come visit you. But they went to California. That's their chosen place, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like. But generally what you hear among coaches that come to Arkansas with family, they don't want to leave. I don't think was ever the case with him, that California was the chosen destination. And this year was just a tough deal for them and their family. I'm talking like they're gone. He may decide he doesn't like something out there, but it doesn't usually. Like I said, usually when a Power 5 or an SEC coach goes on a, high publicity interview, everybody knows it, then they're gone.
Calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. We got John in Fort Smith on the phones here. Hey, John, thanks for the call. What's going on?
Hey, guys, love your show.
Thank you.
Hey, I just, my question is maybe Clay can answer or help provide insight. Where did this sour with Muss? Because reports are from people in the program who claim, they're in the know, which some of them I believe are, that he was he was putting feelers out before the season started. So he's not been happy for a while. And you just wonder, it just makes you wonder where it's soured.
I think it started with not having unlimited budget in NIL. I mean, there's always a salary cap. I mean, there's always I think that what has happened in college athletics, in the SEC, in Power 5 basketball as well as football, that things continue to escalate. There is not a finite number. I mean, it's just whatever the market will bear. And good players and, they continue to ask for more. And it's, they play one off of another. And, it's like, how much is enough? And it's like, well, the number's finite. That probably soured him because it goes back to, what you had last year in recruiting. But that's the way it always is. It's never
not going to be finite at USC. I mean,
it is not going to be finite there, but it's a change of scenery, and we're going to restart the clock. And I think that it just continued from that point. That was probably a starting point. And then you're coaching the players. So I don't think there's a surprise when he goes into a game, and there are 4, 5, 6, 7 games. He's already practiced them. He knows what he's got. And then he sees, the reality of, we've got this weakness, we've got that weakness, and there's nothing we can do. It's our roster, and he can't change it. You got to remember, he was an NBA coach and a CBA coach, and developmental coach. You can always change your roster in midseason. You can't in college. So it just continued to frustrate, and things just got dysfunctional in the team. But it was not a okay, here's where it is. It's a combination of everything.
877-377-6963 if you want to get on and talk about this or anything else in the world of sports. We are brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina, the best Tex-Mex and better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina today. It's Nacho Average Wednesday. Get $1 off all nachos. That includes the new 3-cheese carnita nachos and $1 off all beers, draft or bottles. Don't forget about Fajita Friday coming up, featuring charbroiled steak and chicken, tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the extras. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex and better service. 3400 South 74th Street, right across from Harps. joesfortsmith.com to get a look at everything else there. Stay tuned. Halftime back with Clay Henry after this.
This is Halftime.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Have you heard of Arkansas?
Funny enough, when I told my mom that same day, she was like, I don't know about Arkansas. And I'm like, Mom, trust me on this one. I really trust Coach Mateo. This feels right. Like, I kind of like Arkansas. And, she ended up coming down on the visit, and she ended up loving it.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Spring is just around the corner, and Jelco Outdoors is ready with all of your spring fishing gear. Crappie, bass, catfish, Jelco has a great selection of rods, reels, and baits to help you fill that stringer. Spring turkey supplies are rolling in daily, and the firearms department is stocked up with ammo for outdoor shooting. Spring is almost here, so get outdoors and enjoy the spring season. Stop by Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, for all your outdoor gear. Think spring, think Jelco Outdoors.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. We work to design an insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter Insurance ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 5 out of the last 6 years by J.D. Power. Satisfied customers and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith,
As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. So sign up now for Pascal's Planned Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Looking for a change? For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus and a $3,000 referral bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Ask a friend who works at Simmons for more information, and you can both win. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith City Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time. So you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
When you look at the makeup of the team, and it always is going to start with the offensive line. And I feel like the three guys we got out of the portal and them working with the ones and the ability that they have helps that right away. Our other two guys are doing a great job too with the starting five. We've got to develop some depth there. You know, I think right now we feel like we maybe have 8 guys that we feel good about, and we've got some young guys that keep getting better and then take a step back, keep getting better. The more you put in, the harder it is on those guys to, you know, improve right away. But they're working hard at it. But I like the O-line, and I like what they're doing.
Bobby Petrino at yesterday's press conference after practice. Matt, Clay, let's talk about something that's more fun than basketball coaching changes potentially, you know, because talking about the Arkansas offensive line has been so much fun in the last 12 months. Maybe it will be more fun in the future. It sounds like Matt likes what he sees.
Well, I liked what he said, and I think he's right on. The more you put on their plate, when you're thinking as a player, yes, it is a little tough for the younger guys. So right now, and that's why I talked about for spring game, what I want to see is mano-a-mano. I'm not worried about them picking up a blitz. I'm not worried about them comboing so much. I just want to see if the talent-wise, if they're getting their ass whooped by one man when it's one-on-one, then, man, we're in trouble there. So that's what I want to see this during the spring scrimmages. Hey, can our guys, when they know what to do, can they just keep one guy? Because as an offensive lineman, Phil, all you have to do is get a tie. A tie is a win every single time as an O-lineman.
I like how he puts that, Clay. A win is a tie, and it's not the case in a lot of sports, but I understand where you're going with that. And Clay, of course, is writing now at hitthatline.com. And the first column that he's got up there is about exactly what Bobby Petrino's talking about, focusing a little bit more on the tackles. Keyshawn Blackstock and Fernando Carmona. Looks like looks like they like what they see. And Clay, I know you liked what you've seen.
Yeah, that's what I really focused on for 2 hours in the quarterbacks. But it was mainly, could they set a pocket for the quarterback, and did he have time, and did he sit in the pocket? And that's what I saw over and over. And the ball came out quicker. That helps the quarterback if you hold the ball. But the quarterback wasn't ducking after 2 seconds. They knew who to block. Their protections were solid. The defense was stemming some. I didn't see a lot of 6-man pressures, but they've got representative SEC defensive ends. I mean, Landon Jackson is a stud, and he lined up and was not a factor in the scrimmage as far as the pass rush. He made plays in the running game, but to that point, the running game looks like it's going to be effective. They've got some power backs. They got guys that can break tackles. They didn't have guys breaking tackles last year. I think Rocket can break tackles when he's healthy, but he wasn't. But none of the others really going to break tackles. But the Utah transfer Jackson and the freshman Russell, they will break tackles. If you try to, if you just try to thud them or you just try to stick your arm out, they're going to bounce off of you and keep going. I think they can run the ball, and I think they can make a pocket. Now, I didn't see everything that I wanted from the quarterback in the passing game. Bobby addressed that too. Said, sometimes his footwork wasn't perfect, sometimes his release wasn't perfect, but that if you give him time, I think Bobby will have a passing game.
Yeah. Here's Bobby Petrino on the running backs.
Group is going to be real competitive, I think, with R-Dub and JJ probably competing for the starter. If we were playing a game at the end of the week, they would be the ones competing for that starter. The youngster Braylon has done a great job. He's big. He's really physical. He's got great hands. It's all new to him, so there's times he has a faraway look in his eyes when he doesn't know the play or can't picture it in his mind. But he's got a chance to be special. When we came off the field last week after the 3 practices and after the scrimmage, I said to Coach Pitt, we're going to be able to run the ball.
Going to be able to run the ball. That's
what I saw.
That's what you feel too, huh?
Yeah. I would like to see Kudus get a little bigger, but he's in the right spot. I think left guard is a much better fit than right tackle for him. Brown is, he had 1 year of transferring from Florida. I think he's much better in year 2. Looks like he moves quicker. The Tennessee transfer at center, I think he's a good player. But I didn't see any problems with the snap. Didn't see any problems with him being able to man up. A bull rush. So I mean that center inside area was anchored up on pass drops. I think that they've got talent at receiver, and Luke Haas he reminds me of DJ Williams. He's a little undersized, not a big guy. I mean, he looked like he could use another 15, 20 pounds. And I think that's what Bobby said yesterday. But gosh, he turns and finds the ball, and his hands are like glue. I mean, he just does not, if it's traffic, his hands are going to come at it with the ball, and that's just strong hands and ability to focus while you're on the move.
Got 6 running backs on the roster. 5 of them look like guys that potentially you get yardage from. I like Augusta from what we saw last year. He was impressive. If Dominique Johnson is healthy, he can do good things. Jaquindon Jackson, I expect, is the leading rusher on the team.
He's a stud now.
Dubinion,
yep.
I think has a lot to work with. This Braylon Russell is interesting. 252 pounds. Man, I love the thought of how Petrino said, you look in his eyes, I'm like, well, he's not quite sure how everything is supposed to go. Can't be the only freshman that is like that, learning an offense when he still should be in high school. But he's 6'1", 252. Is this someone that can contribute next year?
Yeah, he's going to play. I mean, they're going to figure out ways to short yardage, and both he and Jackson run with their pads down. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a 215 or 208 pound safety. when they come out. You talk about getting a faraway look. You get trucked by one of those guys, you got a faraway look.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're hearing all the right things as far as the offensive line is concerned. But when look, last year, I know you got a chance to watch a couple of practices, or more than a couple of practices in the spring, but you could tell immediately that
it was not there.
That it was not there at those positions.
They were getting run over by their defensive ends in practice, and that didn't happen. So last year, and this was kind of the conclusion in the column I wrote, last year you saw things that made you want to go home early. This year I saw things that wanted me to keep watching. This is fun. And, Petrino was having fun, and it was all Bobby Petrino. I mean, he still can, he can fog up your glasses. I mean, it's like when it comes, it comes. And I heard it. But it's he has a way of getting his message across. I think that he told somebody in a podcast, it might have been Bo, confrontation and accountability. That's what leadership is.
It's really, I do like listening to him talk in that setting. He explains things in a certain way, and he doesn't come across, at least in the press conferences, as a killjoy, and I don't think that's the way he operates right now. I think people are going to want to hear more from him, once you get closer to the season and maybe even during the season. Now I understand, and he's pointed out how a huge difference. He's not even paying attention to the Arkansas defense because he doesn't have to worry about that as the offensive coordinator. But I wonder if there's still going to be like the shackles on talking with coordinators during the season. People are going to want to hear from Petrino, especially if they're doing well.
Yeah, I think that first of all, he can really handle a press conference. I mean, he's not going to say anything he doesn't want to say. He's not going to get shoved into a corner where he can't get out. He can say, well, I don't want to talk about that. He doesn't do it often, but he can. Knows how to do that. Let's put it that way, because he's done press conference. He's been a head coach for a number of years, and it's been in front of the media. I don't think that's what he likes best, but I don't think he's afraid of it. Question and answer, he's really good. He looks to me like he's having fun. And what you said is important. I think he knows who's on defense, but I think he also understands that that's not his defense. Don't talk about it. Don't say something that causes concern when you're in staff meetings. You don't need to. There's no reason for him to make any comments that Travis Williams might say you gave away something, or I'd really rather I be the one to set the agenda on defense. So he knows he doesn't have to talk about defense, so he didn't.
Brandon in Paris asking about Ty Washington. I think Washington's shoulder injury from last year is kind of kept him on the sidelines a little bit here in spring. But
rehab,
From everything I hear, he should be ready to go for August. Has is fine. I mean, I think that's just a matter of the timing of the injury. What is Washington's injury like a month after Has went down?
Yeah, and they're not going to want to have him hit until next fall. I mean, it's just there's no reason to it, and I think that he's a really good talent that they're watching closely. I mean, it's kind of like a pitcher coming back from elbow surgery. Man, there's just a timeline. They know what the timeline is for that shoulder surgery, and I think he's going to be fine. And all shoulder surgeries are different. Some of them, I mean, they've got to go in and completely redo some things. And I think Luke, like you say, Luke's was a little earlier, 2 months earlier, I think.
2
Bobby.
months, okay.
I mean, Phil, you're not Bobby.
There was another thing. Yeah, that's a good thing too. There's another thing that he brought up about. Well, I think you're the one who wrote about it. We don't take sacks when it comes. You're going to get rid of the ball, and man, I mean, I think you pointed this out quite a bit, Matt. KJ did hold on to the ball a little
and I didn't see that. Yep.
I guess, and the mindset is we don't take sacks.
Yeah, and that was. I think if you remember the last interview that Ryan Mallett really did was with me, and he always marvels when he sees sack totals up, because he said, quarterback doesn't have to take a sack. Number one, he can throw it away. Number two, he can change the protections. And if he's getting sacks, then he's not fixing the problem. And well, I think there was one year where Mallett took they threw it, 60% of the time, and it was a lot of, drop back. Well, you're set in the pocket, it's not quick stuff. He wanted to throw the vertical pass, and that takes time. But he didn't get sacked but like 7 or 8 times, and that's impressive. And I mean, we didn't really, dwell on that at the time, but it was really impressive when you're thinking this is not a run first offense. It's pass first, and he's not taking any sacks.
Calls and texts come in on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Halftime is back in a moment.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is halftime.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79. If you've lived in the River Valley for a while, you know about the great reputation of Jam Mart. And their newest location at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith is open. Stop by for coffee, gas, beer, snacks, ices, and a clean restroom every time. Don't forget about the hot deli and fresh-made burgers. Now 7 locations in Fort Smith, Greenwood, Boonville, Ozark, and Danville. Sign up for their loyalty program for discounts throughout the stores. Jam Mart, the leading convenience store and gas station in the region.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Come on over to Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer and a Cinnabogan authorized service provider. From excavators with the best-in-class breakout force to powerful skid steers, we'll be sure to find the right equipment for you. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
The phone there, Christian. Before I start some conversation about something no one wants to talk about.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
This might be the pitch right here, Phil.
This is the one.
This could be the pitch.
All right, if it's a grand slam here, you get the biggest star this side of the sun. 1-0. Souza drives this pitch to deep center field. Bubba Carpenter, get yourself the largest star you've ever seen. It's a grand slam for Nolan Souza. Deep over the center field fence. Bubba, I think he hit that ball about 460 feet. My gosh. I was impressed. I was impressed with Souza's grand slam and how far it went, but I might have been even more impressed with Bubba Carpenter literally down to the pitch that it was about to happen. And that was the last of the 13 runs that were scored yesterday. And I am a man of my word. Matt, Clay, I hope you can attest to that. I gave him the biggest star that I've got, and I got maybe I purchased these stars at a store a couple of years ago. They, like Michael's, that kind of a place, and they're 3-level stars, just kind of like the 3 levels of a throw a quarterback has to make, right? You got the small stars, you get the medium-sized stars, you get the big ones. The big ones you got to save just for moments. You're like, wow, that's the best analysis that a guy can do, and that's what I gave Bubba when he called that grand slam yesterday.
It wasn't a 459-foot star. I mean, it's just like a little 2-centimeter star, but it's still a big one, right?
Oh, that's bigger than 2 centimeters. That's probably I'd say that's that's 4.5 inches. That's probably a 4.5-inch star, but, we don't need to be counting inches too much here on this show.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if Phil got to if Bubba got to the exit velocity on that one. I mean, that was pretty special. That was Kevin McReynolds-like, is what I thought when I saw it. It's like Kevin hit him like that from the right side, where they went, and you're like, well, is it going to come down?
Now you've outscored the in-state teams out of the last 2 you played, Little Rock and Arkansas State, 24-0 in the course of a week. Tuesday against Little Rock last week, and then yesterday, 11-0 and 13-0. It's nice to see when the number one team does kind of, what I think a lot of folks expect to see. It's just baseball's a weird sport, so you never quite know. But they put it out of reach quickly yesterday. We could tell. I mean, it was going to be a run rule pretty much by the time you got into the 3rd inning. And then that was it. The pitchers looked great. You had 7 guys combined on a 1-hitter. Nobody threw more than 2 innings. And I guess that was a good recipe, really good recipe. Now you get a team in Ole Miss that's coming in, and they are really struggling.
When I look at midweek games, they reveal a lot, and it's going to be competitive in the SEC. And I don't, they're going to be some games that they lose, but what they do in the midweek game tells me about the depth of the pitching and the future of the pitching. And what I see is a really competitive situation within this team. They're not giving up anything in midweek. I mean, it's, combined 1-hitter, combined 2-hitter, combined 3-hitter. I mean, that's it, over and over, 0. And the other thing that really shows up is the consistency of your defense. And they just do not make errors. I mean, they're fielding at 982, 983. If you're anywhere over 970, you get to 975. Now, it's still early in the season, but they played over 20 games. And the defense, I thought that they might have been a little uncomfortable on the big stage in Arlington with their defense and 2 or 3 players. But that's gone away. That left side of that infield is just unbelievably good.
Sprague Lott's a really good third baseman. And, what kind of stands out about this infield, all 4 of them, they all stay in front of the ball. They make a point to make sure that they stay in front of it. That was
they don't backhand it. You're right.
Yeah, if you got to backhand it, they can do it. But they always make the effort to stay in front of it.
They're going to circle it. They're going to get in front.
Well, that's what stands out about Stovall at second base. And Sprague Lott, people were pointing out about his – I think, 4 errors in the first couple of weeks, but
they were throwing errors. Yeah,
he's and a couple of them probably shouldn't even have been errors the way that they were scored, but he's tremendous at third base, and that's the reason he's playing instead of Peyton Holt. Holt would be hitting. Holt would be hitting if he's in the lineup, but Sprague Lott is a better defensive third baseman. So until his bat disappears, and has a big offer. I think it's going to be. I think Peyton will find himself playing midweek and then pinch hitting on weekends. And,
you can play
sooner or later. There's an injury, I'm sure. So
and you can play McLaughlin at third. We saw that last night.
Yeah,
he was a Gold Glover. Junior college at playing third base.
Then a couple of texts coming in here. Jake B asked, did this team set a program record in shutouts? I think yesterday was the 6th shutout. Maybe. I'd have to go back and check on this, but you'd have to get into the double digits, I think, in order to secure some kind of a school record for shutouts.
They played a lot of 7-inning games in the old Southwest Conference, so I would say they've got a chance to. And then we had a period of time where the bats and the ball were you couldn't score runs. So there were some shutouts in that 2 or 3 year.
13 shutouts is the record. 13 shutouts.
And what year was that, Phil?
1977.
So that goes back to when they were playing 7-inning games, a lot of 7-inning games.
Well, hey,
so they played Saturday doubleheaders.
Yesterday was 6.5 innings. It's just you got to have 10 runs in order to make that happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they've only had 3 years where they've had 10 shutouts or more. 2 of those seasons were when the seams were mountains on the baseball, and so I think you just didn't get ball to travel very much. This team can get into double digits. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. They can definitely get into double digits. 13 just with the amount of games left. I think there's 26 or 27 regular season games left, and then Hoover and then the NCAA tournament and all that, but I guess I'd be surprised if they set a record, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get to double digits.
Yeah, and a lot of the games are going to be SEC games. You don't shut out too many teams in the SEC.
No, it doesn't happen too often. Ole Miss coming in, they are struggling, really struggling. They lost yesterday to Memphis. Ole Miss has lost, let's see here, that is 2. They've only won 2 of the last 13 SEC series. They beat South Carolina 2 out of 3, but then lost 2 out of 3 to Tennessee, got blown out in 2 of those games, and got swept by Kentucky. They've actually lost 4 games in a row. And I got to tell you, as we're talking about like coaching changes and in basketball, if Ole Miss has another season like they did last year, where they miss the SEC tournament, even if they don't make the NCAA tournament, right now it looks like they might struggle to get there. I think Bianco's on notice, even with the national championship. They're expanding that stadium. I think if they have the kind of year that maybe they look like they be on track for, if they don't turn things around, there could be a coaching change at Ole Miss baseball, which would be a shock to think about. and Mississippi State, the same thing. 2 teams that won national championships over a 2-year period, and I think both the coaches more Bianco, I think, than Mississippi State. But hopefully the Razorbacks contribute to that over these next 3 days. Get a question: can they sweep? Yeah, this team can sweep because LSU, I think, is a lot better than Ole Miss. So you bet your bottom dollar they can sweep. I guess
Yeah,
the question would be, can they keep scoring runs the way that Kentucky and Tennessee did against Ole Miss?
Yeah, they can sweep, and I think that defense and pitching, you got a chance in every game, and they're not giving any games away. And if you make the other team earn it, they'll cough it up, and that's what I saw. And there's only one game that Arkansas just didn't make the plays, and that was the Auburn game, and that's when it kind of started to fall apart a little bit. You didn't make all the plays in that one Auburn game. But otherwise, I mean, they've been flawless on defense, and that's the other part. Usually midweek games, people are not as sharp. We know we've got the better team, and that's when there's a few errors that come in. But, man, they seem like they understand what's at stake, and it's pitch by pitch. It's not game by game. It's pitch by pitch.
So one thing that Dave said yesterday is that part of the reason that the team is playing so well in midweek games is the inner team competition. They're competing with their own teammates for playing time on the weekends. Now, you only have 4 players, I think, that are in the lineup every game, and that's Stovall, McLaughlin, Aloy, and Diggs. But the other positions, it's not like they're all up for grabs, but you could see a change at any one of those.
There's
positions.
options.
And it's the same with the relievers, with the bullpen. You got 7 pitchers yesterday. I think there were 3 of them that weren't on the roster this past weekend, and those 3 guys could potentially be like frontline relievers, not just for other college baseball teams, but for SEC teams. So I've always wondered about that, like the teammate with the competition with your own teammates, and how that can keep an athlete or a team overall focused to play well in games where sometimes you just never know what's going to happen on a Tuesday or Wednesday. But right now you have a feeling like, they're going to go out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, or they're going to play really well.
Sometimes I see a guy put in the lineup, or he gets to pitch an inning here or there, and I was like, oh, I forgot about him. He's really good. He just got an opportunity.
All right.
When you play, you better make the most of it, right?
That's right. We'll make the most of wrapping up hour number 2 of halftime in just a moment. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Matt Jones with the Halftime Show, and I will be broadcasting live from the Party Place.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The tournament is here. BetOnline is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contests out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round right up to the national championship. You can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or your mobile device and even track your bracket real-time all the way through the tournament. Head to BetOnline today and get in on all the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
I can see her lying back in your satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care. By night, you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care. By night, you've been creeping round my back stairs.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Back on halftime here. See kind of a really frightening story. Maybe you saw the video of former South Carolina quarterback Chris Smelly being rescued by the Coast Guard in a kayak in the Gulf of Mexico. Was on a fishing trip. Matt, you had found this. I read the story. 11 hours out there. He was lost until they found him. There's a little speck in the water too.
Yeah, that was the scary part. He said the first chopper that went and looked that he saw go by and just kept on going. He said, "Uh-oh." You know, that would, because if you can see them, they can't see you. 11 hours. I'm sure Clay, you've been lost in the woods. What's the longest you've been kind of lost for when you've been out there?
I don't know that I ever have been lost. I've been in a situation when I'm usually with more experienced guys that know that, whatever, the lay of the land is or the woods. And I was hunting in the fog one time and you can get turned around really good.
Yeah.
Cause you don't, you have no way, you can't find the sun to know what east is or west. And I definitely would have been turned around, but the guys I was with, they marked things coming and going. But we could only see about 6 or 7 feet in front of us. That's a little scary, and it never did lift. So we eventually just had to leave.
Matt, what about you? Did that happen to you before?
You maybe turned around, but usually I was with my pops if I was going hunting or something, and we always kind of knew what was going on. Maybe but back before you had the little blue dot on your cell phone and had the satellite, maybe get lost turn down the wrong way, be kind of turned around for 30, 45 minutes to get back.
I don't know if I'd say it was like lost, but and this would have been like 1998, so we didn't have the cell phones that could show you anywhere to go, and I didn't print anything out. But I was somebody that used to buy every road atlas every year, bought the new road atlas. I just had an interest in that. Working for a team in Montana, and I had to drive from Helena to Great Falls to go pick up or drop off the plans for our game program, and I wanted to shorten the drive, so I saw a dirt road that was supposed to take me, I thought, to the road that would take me to the printer. Yeah, probably shouldn't be getting off the highway to go on random dirt roads in a state that I'd lived in for less than a month, because I was kind of driving around wondering if I was going to find my way back to the freeway for about 25 minutes.
Some of those roads are cut; they're kind of cut in squares, right? Like if you're going, you want to stay on that road. It runs laterally with
then and I kept thinking, I think this road was built more for like an F-150 or a Toyota Tacoma, not a Honda Accord. It's just bumping around, and it's just it was not the right place.
Yeah, they're rutted out a lot of times. So here's the thing out west, Matt. You got mountains and rivers, and the roads run parallel to the rivers because that's the lowest spot in that valley, and they go around mountains. And all at once you think you're almost to a spot, and there's, for instance, when we were in Snowmass, somebody said there's a town and a river just over that mountain. And I thought, well, that might be a good place to fish. And I realized it was a 4-hour trip to get a mile from where I was standing. You had to do a complete circle route. There was no pass. No pass.
Yeah. Difference between as the crow flies and as the fishermen kayaks.
With mountains and rivers, it gets scary.
We're into hour number 3 in just a moment. Calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. We'll check the headlines and see if Arkansas basketball still has somebody leading the program in just a moment.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. That small roofing company my father started 45 years ago has now become one of the largest roofing companies in America by following one rule, the golden rule. No one can install a better roof at a better price, a better warranty than Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Let our local family serve your family. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call today or visit us online at shamrockroofer.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny, breezy. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 50s. Mainly clear sky tonight. Overnight low mid-30s north, low 40s south. And then Thursday, blue sky, sunshine. Our high in the low to mid-60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
If I'm all right. One kid thing dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
What's able one Razorback?
Second half, very happy.
And vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson here. Matt Jones, my partner, the C Unit, Kristen Johnston producing, and the Hall of Famer Clay Henry joining us as well for these last 60 minutes of your favorite midday radio program. Calls and texts come in on the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. Got a few things we'll get to in a moment, but first we got a caller on hold. So let's talk to Zach and Rogers and see what Zach wants to hit on. Zach, you get to set the conversation right now. What's up?
Well, you had some guys leaving football, which is going to happen every year. We got two top females leaving the women's basketball team. Got all kinds of noise around the basketball team. You got the athletic director looking at a different job. I mean, how bad off is Arkansas on this whole NIL thing, or is there more to all of this than just the NIL problem?
Where are we hearing that that Yurichek is looking for another job? I mean, I'm not digging into this. Where have you heard this?
I thought I read that today in the Democrat Gazette in relationship to this video that was posted that he didn't get the A&M job.
I don't know. Maybe he was in on that. I don't know, but that's the first time I've heard of it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that Trev Alberts was their number one choice, and that's who they hired him. Pretty much after the first interview. Yeah. I don't know, if Hunter wanted that job, he wasn't. He wasn't involved.
I don't want to make too much out of the idea of a coach in Muss that's looking for another job. I just it's a rare thing, I think, to happen at Arkansas. And look, women's basketball's in a situation where they've got to, put a team together now and losing some really good players. Men's basketball, even if Muss is the coach, you're starting. It's not quite from scratch, but you got to put a whole new team together. Football's going to happen on a year-by-year basis. That's the nature of the beast right now. And then I'm here at baseball, which is the most stable program on campus outside of maybe track, which is right next door, and makes a little sense that these two programs get to kind of separate themselves in some ways just south of campus by about a quarter of a mile, because there's never drama with baseball. And track year by year, and we got the indoor track center right here, is always as stable as it gets. But yeah, I don't know about the deal with Yurichek looking for another job. I just know it's the basketball coach that's doing that right now. But it also seems it's just, that's college sports is this is what's happening now.
Yeah, even baseball has huge change. I mean, it's stable in the way you can kind of predict it. This guy's a third-year player, he's going to be drafted. And so there's a lot of turnover in that roster. And they bring in some guys in the fall that are in junior college by Christmas. And that, there's usually 6 or 7. In football, you say there's only 6 openings now. But when spring's over and players are told this is this is your lot. This is where you're going to be, your third team or your second team. There'll be some more movement. There'll be some that are coached to leave, and there'll be some that just, hey, I think I want to go play somewhere else because I don't think I'm going to get on the field enough. And there'll be some true freshmen that come in and is like, man, this is a lot tougher. This is a lot harder than I thought. Maybe I overstepped a little bit. So there'll be some movement after this. They'll have 10 or 12 scholarships to play with, this late April, May, in my opinion.
Got a text from Lloyd in Ozark, says he was lost in the Cass Mountains for most of a full day. Tried to cross the Mulberry River. Turkey calls, everything else he had on me. Lost all that stuff. Lost his gun. And the mighty Mulberry River washed him down the river for a couple 100 yards, almost drowned. Sounds like a nightmare, Lloyd. Sounds like a total
Glad
nightmare.
he's still with us.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take your being lost stories, I guess, at 877-377-6963 on our McClarty Daniel hotline. No update on Muss. No update on Arkansas basketball. So let's see what else is happening here. Angel Reese has declared for the WNBA. So I guess she and Clark both going into the draft at the same time. Just, Caitlin Clark's going to be the top overall pick. I don't even know who has the first pick in that draft, but I think you even brought it up yesterday, Matt, the idea of what can you make as far as NIL is concerned compared to what you can make in the WNBA. And here's Reese, who's one of the two most famous names in the sport right now.
Angel Reese is so raw. She's a talent. She has one move. It's just, I'm gonna bang right into you and go over the top.
She's a scorer on
an
offensive
out
rebounds.
athlete. That's what I mean. She's out athleting you. She's an athlete. That's it. Caitlin Clark is ridiculous. But that being said, Phil, I think their earning power is better in college. How many players that play for the New York Liberty or the Houston Cosmos or Seattle SLU? We don't know a single person that plays for these teams. These college girls. Who plays for them. I think their marketability. I think the money they can make is so much greater in college. I would tell both of them to stay in school.
Well, I get that, but I think Caitlin Clark right now, her ability to do commercials and what she can make on the side
it's not going to be the same without having the college behind you.
Do you don't think so?
I do not. I think
being a college student. I think she's good for 20 years.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying she's not fine.
There's nothing there. She's going to do commercials for State Farm until she does.
Yeah, when the Olympics come out, you'll see her do something like that. But it's not the same.
Well, what this is it's a test. It's like it's kind of a little bit of an experiment to take.
No question.
To take two names, and let's just say the names and the images that go with them, and see if that spotlight follows them to the next level. Because in the NBA, from college basketball to the NBA, oh my gosh, yeah. Not only is your brand going national, it's going international. The WNBA, that's a different thing. It almost feels like an experiment. Because I agree with you, Matt. People. I don't know the roster makeups of the WNBA. Heck, I have trouble remembering the roster makeup of a lot of the NBA teams right now. But
the college game day, all the stuff that's out there for you for being in college. It's just there's a bigger. I just think your earning power is bigger. I'm not saying she's not going to be fine and not going to dominate. But in Angel Reese, 100% her most valuability is in college. There's 17 Angel Reeses in the WNBA. That are big.
I agree with, but I think that what you have now with Caitlin is she's gonna be a spokesperson, and she's gonna do things that we haven't even imagined because of her popularity. And there are top-end corporations that are just dying for a female spokesperson, like Procter & Gamble, for instance, and the things that they've invested into women's sports because women buy their products. I mean, it's Tide, it's cleaning goods, it's household products, and that women are the ones that do all the shop. They're dying to have a brand like her. And so I think that what she's going to be able to do is nothing like we've ever seen. I mean, 12 million people watched that basketball game. Yeah, it's like
And when
that-
she's in the
that just-
WNBA finals, 12 million people won't watch.
But
no,
a
they
lot of
won't.
They won't be
They
watching.
will not. But that's not. But I think what if you go around households in America right now and you say that name, they know who she is. That's that's a brand that you just can't imagine. It's a better brand in some ways than LeBron because of the different kind of market that it is in the buying power. And State Farm got it. I mean, they what are they spending like $2.5 million with her? She's making over $3 million. But I just think that her ability over the next few years that they're going to do, and there's going to be so many. She's going to have 3-point shooting contests with Steph. It's just going to keep going. It doesn't matter how good she plays in the WNBA. That's who they want to see. I'm talking about people matched up with Steph.
I think you got to create new viewing habits for people that already have their habits decided as far as what it is that they devote their time to. Where the
I agree with
viewership
that.
grows is from young people. The viewership grows from not just teenage girls or 8 to 10-year-old girls. I'm talking anybody that is young and watch that. That's how you grow a league, and I think that's what happened with the NBA when Magic and Bird made their crossover into the NBA. I think that the NBA exploded in popularity with young people, and that's the challenge. I don't know if it's a challenge or not. Like, there's literally millions of Caitlin Clark fans now that have never stepped into the state of Iowa and might not even know where Iowa is located.
And never watched a women's game before.
But they very well may follow her to whatever team she plays for next. And it's those people. It's the young people. It's not me. I'm not following to watch because there's only so many hours in the day that I have to watch whatever it is we got to talk about here and the teams that I cover. It's my daughter. So I had that game on with her. We watched it together. She's 14. Will she follow Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and whomever to watch in the WNBA? She's a sports fan that's just sort of growing into her own right now. She wants to watch football on the weekends, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. She'll watch a little baseball with me, but she'll put a football game on herself. Will she put on a WNBA game because Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese are playing in it? I don't know. But that's the thing that's that helps a league grow. All right, we're going to break. We'll come back with much more, including your calls and texts at 877-377-6963. This is Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This is Halftime.
We need focus. Drives it deep to right field. That one's near the pole. It's out of here. There's business to tend to.
We were all excited to play baseball.
And the Hogs always live up to their end of the bargain. Tiger, here's the pitch. Brewer swings and misses. He struck him out. He tiptoes back a little farther and at the wall leaps. He robbed him of a home run.
This is Razorback Baseball.
Follow every game on Arkansas's journey towards Omaha.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The Steel Horse Rally is coming to town May 3rd and 4th. Get ready for it with Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith. Need a new or pre-owned motorcycle to show off on Garrison Avenue at the rally? Need to get new tires or repairs done so you can join the poker run or parade? Need new riding gear? We've been serving the motorcycle community in the Fort Smith area for 57 years and are the 9th oldest Kawasaki dealer in the nation. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Insurance company throwing you a curveball? Are they crowding the plate and not offering you a fair settlement? If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need an experienced attorney to fight for you. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, no win, no fee. Call Mock Legal Solutions today for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Do you need an oil change but don't have time to drop off your car? S&J Express Lube will let you sit in your car while they do the work, and it only takes about 15 minutes with no appointment needed. Prices start at $35.99 for a 20-point inspection service. S&J Express Lube is open Monday through Friday 9 till 6 and Saturdays 8 till noon. You'll find them at 14818 Highway 71 South in Jenny Lind. Check them out on Facebook too. S&J Express Lube, your authorized Castrol dealer in Sebastian County. They are waiting on you now.
Are you in a constant battle with mosquitoes outside your house? Well, stop smacking yourself in the face and call Mosquito Joe. Whether it's playing ball with the kids or cooking out with friends, Mosquito Joe treatments allow you to enjoy your yard without the nuisance of pesky mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas. No more itching and no more wasting time on smelly bug sprays that don't work. Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com or call 479-202-9960 to get more information and a free quote. With Mosquito Joe, outside is fun again.
Now is a great time to start your career at Simmons. For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Come with me. It's to a castle I will take you. Where what's to be, they say, will be. Sail. Where should it go? Down is the show. Where you will be mad. Take it outside.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Clay Henry with this as well. Matt, Clay, I listened to the One Star Recruit podcast that Hunter Yurichuk was on. It's actually not a bad podcast. It's a couple of guys that are, one are in California, one's in Hawaii, Rip and DK. And they get some interesting guests. They had Brian Austin Green recently. Remember him from 90210? They had the athletics director from Indiana University. They had the Northern Colorado head football coach. They had Robbie Avila, who's the big center for Indiana State basketball that, you know, people were comparing to Bird because he's tall and played for Indiana State and was really good this year. It was a pretty interesting podcast. They have Hunter Yurichuk on, and then after they even were like, well, the video that Hunter put out was kind of ridiculous. I just look at that video from the week before as an athletics director opening the door for a coach and maybe even giving him a little bit of a nudge towards the opening.
That's what that video meant. Now that it's all coming into context, is that Muss is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. It's propaganda, but it's also propaganda from his perspective.
I thought it was more, it's time, put up or shut up.
Well, I think it's all the behind the scene conversations that we're not privy to.
No question.
Just like him going to USC, I think it's to sign a contract. I think all the conversation's been done. He's going there to check.
That's usually the way it works,
yeah,
Matt.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's usually the way I remember how uncomfortable Houston Nutt made it for himself by flirting with Nebraska and then LSU. And Coach Broyles at the time is like, every time you do that, you lose, the coach, loses some support. And so if you know how to play the cards, you don't do one of those interviews unless you're going to take the job, because it just makes your current job tougher.
I don't say this with any judgment or negative judgment on bringing Muss here as the head coach, because I think it was a great hire and I think he's done great things. But for whomever it is that would be next, I would like the idea that you view this as a destination job, as the destination job, the job that you leave a good job for.
Most do.
And that's how I view Arkansas basketball. It's definitely not how I view USC basketball.
Well, USC got Bronny James and the #1 recruit in the country last year. I think that's more Muss's style. I think he probably thinks it's easier to get the number 1 recruit at USC.
Well, he would have to re-recruit those guys. They're both in. Well, the one kid, the top recruit, he's decommitted, and Bronny James is in the portal. So that would be the first thing you do, right?
Got to win him back. Yeah.
And whomever it is that will be the next coach at Arkansas, you're going to win a few guys back here, as long as you want them. And you got to recruit the state, right? I mean, is that going to be the next thing that you?
I just think it's a no-brainer. I think you embrace the state. There's so much talent in this state, and kind of like to Clay's point about Frank Broyles. When you're talking about other coaches, that each time you lose kids in the state, I think you lose a little support.
Oh, that's every time it's another hit. And it adds up over over time, and he hasn't really fired up the local high school coaches by what's happened. It's not that he hadn't signed them; he signed them, but a lot of them don't stick around. And it's like, man, every time you do that,
I think
that's all those families, that's all those coaches that know that kid, and they're like, man, he was a good kid. What happened? We were glad he went up there, and you can name them off. Darian Ford and Joe Pending is the latest. And
I think
Blocker,
yeah,
Layden Blocker. I mean, you go down the list, and it's like, all right, we did that, Scott. We did Morrilton, we did Magnolia, we've done Little Rock. It's like, well, how many communities do you have to do that to before you realize that those people understand that, that he's into the portal and they can come from somewhere else, and that it makes a dent.
I feel like I've gone all this way into this story, and I haven't even brought up the idea of was NIL to Muss's liking for however you want to put the team together, because that feels like that's why you missed out on a couple of guys that they got to visit, for this last basketball season, but chose other places. Is NIL in a good place for men's basketball, or is USC in a better place for NIL for men's basketball? It's just, and that's the opacity of that whole situation. I don't know what to believe about it, but that's got to be part of the equation that a coach would be looking at too. It's, fan support is part of it, yeah, with the facilities, sure, maybe the program's history, but whether or not it's supported by big money has also got to be another part of the consideration. And, is Arkansas in the right place for that?
Good question, and I know that's part of the scene, and I think it's an ever-changing scene, and it might be that NIL was in a good place for basketball 2 or 3 years ago, but it stayed in that same place while other programs are getting more. I would be interested, and you can't get these numbers, so don't say go get the numbers, because everybody's tried. I'm not the only person that's mentioned this. Is something that's interesting. But I would like to see real numbers: North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, Alabama, Duke, what they have in NIL and what Arkansas's is. I mean, I don't know what the real numbers are. You hear that it's, there's a big gap, and that's part of, why he's looking. USC doesn't seem like their basketball NIL would be huge. I mean, that's not a basketball school. That is a football school, and their NIL for football is rolling. Now, is there some, bleed over into basketball where they have it for basketball too. I mean, it sometimes that you see, they got 1 5-star. Well, that's where the NIL is spent. You get 1. It's where you can get 3 or 4. And last year he had 3, right? He had Walsh, he had Smith, and he had Black. Those are 5-stars. Well, there's not 3 5-stars in this class. So maybe the NIL got bigger and 5-star costs a lot more.
Got an interesting point here from Sean on the McClarty-Daniel hotline, on the text line at least, 877-377-6963. He thinks that motivation for leaving would be partially his daughter being harassed at school. I think Danielle had pointed out to that, something about that
part of it.
On social media. And hey, it's almost a little bit of the escapement of the bubble of what Arkansas athletics is. The kids in Los Angeles. Is anybody going to get harassed about the performance about USC basketball?
No.
Maybe that is part of it. I hadn't thought about that.
New change of scenery. Yeah, I mean it is always, in my opinion, when a coach leaves, it's not just about basketball. It's about the family. Like you say, the bubble and how is it. But you can control that by you staying out of the limelight. It's Danielle has been, she's been out there. She's the spokesperson for Harp's Foods. She's doing commercials, so she's put herself out there, and she's been on social media. Well, that's that causes problems sometimes. I have not seen too many coaches' wives be active on social media and not, seen the wrath of man somewhere. It's going to happen. If you want to be active in social media, you're going to have to take the good with the bad.
877-377-6963 if you want to get into that conversation. Don't forget to get to hitthatline.com sometime in the next couple of days and make your picks for the Final Four as we close out our bracket challenge, brought to you by On the Mark Sports Bar and Grill in Fayetteville, 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley. That's at hitthatline.com. Bracket challenge link, top of the page, right next to where you can click and see Clay's column about what he saw at the scrimmage this past Saturday for Arkansas football. Just get those picks in before the Final Four. See if you got the winning picks. Meanwhile, we're into the home stretch of halftime. We're back in just a moment.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
At Red River Dodge, not only do we have new vehicles, but we also have top quality pre-owned, all the way from your big rig trucks to your luxury class SUVs. Are you needing to trade in a used vehicle? That's no problem. Here at Red River Dodge, we give top dollar for your trade-in. Whatever it is you're needing, here at Red River Dodge, we have it. Give us a call today at 501-362-5831 or visit us on the web at redriverdodge.com. And don't forget, folks, we deliver.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowes.com for details.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hi, this is Matt Jones with the Halftime Show, and I will be broadcasting live from the Party Place in Fort Smith on April 8th, or better known as Eclipse Day, from 11 to 2. Halftime will be at their new location at 7810 Rogers Avenue behind Ashley Furniture. It's going to be a Party Place celebration with fun things to do and, of course, giveaways. It's the Halftime Show at the Party Place on Monday, April 8th.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Together, every day together, always. I really feel that I'm losing my best friend. I can't believe this could be the end. It looks like go, and if it's real, I don't want to know. No, stop pretending. Don't please stop explaining. Don't tell me that's right.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And Clay Henry with us as well as we get you into the home stretch of halftime. Maybe some angst in Kansas City, guys, about the future of the Kansas City Royals and the Chiefs and their current places, because voters yesterday soundly rejected a proposal to extend a sales tax, which would have funded a new Royals ballpark downtown and major renovations to Arrowhead Stadium. So now you got the owners of both teams, saying we're going to figure out what we're going to do. The Royals owner says they won't play in Kauffman Stadium any at all after 2030. So he's put a hard line in the sand to say we need a new situation before this is up, and it's 6 years away. But I feel like there's enough. This is just Jackson County. This is Jackson County voters that said no to this proposal, and there's other things that can happen here. I don't think the Chiefs are going to move away from Arrowhead, and I don't think the Royals are going to move out of the area. But you can go over the river, you can go over the state border. That's a different county. They can maybe pass something there. That's where Sporting KC plays. I think is in Kansas City, Kansas. And I have experience, well, not personal experience. It's just I remember would have been 20 25 years ago, voters in Western Pennsylvania, when the Steelers and Pirates wanted new stadiums, soundly rejected a sales tax proposal, and it was a 7-county thing. They still found a way. The government leaders found a way through release of bonds and that kind of thing to build the stadiums anyway. It's just, I think it's a matter of them getting creative, because Kansas City is not going to lose the Chiefs. Kansas City is not going to lose the Royals. They're just going to have to find another way to finance new stadiums and renovation of Arrowhead.
Well, that is a very much a saleable. There are people that will buy that franchise. There's a lot of activity in that respect. There's some places that, I think that there's still some interest in having another Canadian team, and so I think it's not. My brother lives in Kansas City. We talked about this for an hour last night because he was concerned about the vote, and he's like. He says it would be a huge blow for them to lose the Royals. 82 home games guaranteed a year, and it's just an unbelievable amount of money involved for the community. And so far, it's there will be an area of Kansas City that steps up. I think you're right about that, Phil.
Well, I just can't. I mean, it's a major league sports town with 2 teams. And it's big enough to have 3 or maybe 4. They were close to getting hockey. I think it would have been 15 or 16, maybe 17 years ago. But Pittsburgh kept the Penguins, built a new arena for them, and Kansas City hasn't landed a hockey franchise since. It's just, I can't imagine. There's no way that those teams leave. It's interesting too, because, I mean, if you live in Kansas City, I mean, everybody's going to love the Chiefs. I mean, it's one of the ways that city defines itself. But a lot of people that view themselves as Chief fans voted against this proposal because they don't want to. I mean, you got billionaires that own these franchises, and I think that they're viewing the idea of extending more sales tax that goes to essentially a bottom line for billionaires already.
It's a bad look in it.
It's distasteful to a lot of people, and a lot of these have had trouble passing, but I'm not surprised that didn't pass. It's just you got to get creative with finances, and they'll find a way to do it.
It's one thing to pass a road tax or a school tax. It's another thing to say we won't. We're buying the tickets. We're willing to support you. It's sellout, but with that, we don't have any more money.
Well, all you do, you got the money right there. You got Travis Kelce, you have Tay-Tay put on a show, and
That's
all the money from one show, and then there you go.
Matt, that's brilliant. When you think about that, really is brilliant. Just open up Arrowhead Stadium for a residency, a Tay-Tay residency.
It's the off season, right? What are you using the stadium for? Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you don't have the World Cup for 2 years. I mean, come on now. They can tear the turf up a little bit and get it ready for next season. That's a brilliant idea. How many Tay-Tay concerts would it take to raise $1 billion for 2 new stadiums?
And isn't prom coming up? You got the prom king and queen, Travis Kelce and Tay-Tay right there. Every school has your little high school prom right there. Bam. There you go.
I'm going there in 2 weeks to see Messi play, although Messi's not playing.
He's going to stand there.
Yeah, probably wave at us. We'll be up in those club seats way up high, and we'll see a little guy wave.
You got Luis Suarez on that team yet?
Still have him. There's 3.
There?
There's 3 great players.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought Inter Miami had some studs.
Yeah, they do. He brought along his buddies. So that's
Sergio Busquets. Is he still?
Yeah,
he's. I
mean, we're going to see the famous guys, but we really bought the tickets.
And class is permanent. Their first touch is still there.
It's still there. Who was it that we saw? Sarah and I went to see a game, Sporting KC, and the Maestro.
Pirlo?
Yeah, we saw him, and he did not ever run, not one time. But every single time he got the ball, he completed the next pass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a beautiful thing to watch.
I think, therefore, I play. That's his autobiography, and I read that 7-8 years ago. But you should check it. It's an easy read.
Well, he was fun to watch, and you watched him as like, Is he going to run? Sarah says, Daddy's not going to run.
He's my favorite player ever. Yeah, he's.
But I mean, he would have the ball, and it would be a completed pass to somebody else that you didn't see. He knew where they were. I mean, it was boom, boom.
He's like Magic Johnson.
Messi's like that too, except it's a goal. It's not a pass.
Matt, have you ever considered maybe getting into politics? Because I think you may have solved their problem with your Taylor Swift residency idea.
Makes sense.
Mayor Matt Jones. I could see this
Just
at some point.
well, it's just a prom thing. 2 different weekends. Probably 4 shows total. I bet she makes over what, $5 million a show, maybe even more than that. I mean, it'd be a quick $20 million.
I saw that one of the people that was leading the charge against this proposal was Frank White, who's one of the greatest Royals of all time. He's in the Royals Hall of Fame. Great second baseman. I remember Frank White when he managed the Wichita Wranglers and was part of the Royals farm system, and he would come through Raywinder Field. He was a gentleman. He was really a great man. I didn't realize that I think he's the county executive. Jackson might be the Jackson County executive, and he was saying no to this. He's in the Royals Hall of Fame, and he was saying no. This is not right for my constituents.
He sits there and he looks at expenses and line item. It's like, we got this, and this that we really need fixed. It's like, I can't ask for money for this if we're going to pass that. And I think there's room for both, probably.
Meanwhile, the best ballpark in the majors is Pittsburgh, and I've been convinced today. Now, I don't have a baseball game to worry about today. Arkansas baseball plays Ole Miss tomorrow, so I got to prep tonight for the series. I have been convinced by Zach Arns to actually watch a Pirates game today. I'm going to go against my natural reaction to not pay attention to my favorite boyhood team, the team that I hate and love all at the same time, because they're 5-0. Arns hates the Red Sox now because they're really terrible, and he keeps texting me telling this team is fun to watch. You got to watch them. I hate you for actually trying to get me to buy in to the Pirates in April, but he's convinced me that I will actually watch a full Pirates game today. At 6:40, it'll be 5:45. I'll put the iPad on. I'll finally use my MLB TV subscription, which usually I don't use until it's pennant race time. But I'm actually going to do it, and we'll see if I buy in, because I do not want to buy into them. I am so resistant to this.
This is my take on that, Phil. You've got your gut telling you that if you watch, it's going to be a bad day for your gut.
Yeah, well, part of it is
your stomach. Yeah,
part of it is I don't want to buy into something that I feel I know how it's going to work out anyway.
You've felt the pain too many times.
Yes, and the pain gets dulled. Like I'm able to refocus my love for baseball on the Razorback baseball team.
So tell me, what kind of cool Pittsburgh Pirates stuff do you have?
You mean around in my house?
Yeah. What do you have? Or is it back at the family house?
No, I've got a few things. I even have a flattened out beer can from Iron City Beer from the 1979 season.
Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
They had Steve Nikosha on the front, and Steve Nikosha was like one of the 2 catchers on that 79 Pirates team. And this is what they would do. They would take the beer can and they would flatten it out, and they gave that out as a souvenir. So I've got that. I've got a ball signed by the entire 79 Pirates team. You can't really make out the autographs anymore because they've all faded, but I have that. I don't have a Pirates hat. I've got a terrible towel, but that's a different team. I used to have Pirates hats, not just one, but like 3 or 4, just depending on how I felt that day. And I would live and die as a teenager and as a kid at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 on the daily goings on with this team. And I had to give it up just because why would you waste your time with a franchise that literally doesn't care if they win or lose? Like, I feel different. Sometimes I try to compare that to the sky is falling attitude that Arkansas fans have for so many reasons. But it's different. It's different because the sky is falling thing is even when we're really good, we're still going to have our hearts broken. And that's a feeling of just like impending doom. not karma on the program, but like there's just something that always will happen to a good Arkansas team that makes you feel like they won't reach their full potential. I know that's how a lot of people even feel about this baseball team right now. I don't feel that way. The thing with the Pirates is different because I don't think they care enough to actually try to win. The owner, that's so. But Zach, I've already told him I hate him because he convinced me to actually watch a game today.
He's kind of like that, though, isn't he? I mean, he kind of messes with your spirit and your, like he wants to kind of get in your head a little bit, and I think he's just trying to do that, Phil.
Well, I think he's literally. First of all, he asked me if he should be a Pirates fan before the season started because the Red Sox were going to be really good. He asked me, and I was like, "You don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that."
And now they're 5-0.
Anyway?
And he texts today. I got other friends of mine that are like, "Wow, the Pirates, the kids I grew up with, that I went to games with, that I would ride the bus with to go downtown and watch them at Three Rivers Stadium at the age of 12 and 13. Yeah, we didn't need our parents to drive us there. We just took the bus downtown." These people, they're all fired up about it. Like, wow, I can't believe it. They're 5-0. I'm like, talk to me in June. And then Zach Orange was like, yeah, well, I actually watched every single pitch of the first 5 games. This team can play. They're really good. He's like actually convinced me to be a little bit interested, just a little tiny bit interested in this team that I lived and dined with for years. But I'm only going to dip my toe in the water. It's just today. That's it. The 3 days after that, I'm watching the Hogs, all right? I believe in them a heck of a lot more than I believe in the Pirates because I have real reason to believe in them. They're not worried about the bottom line with the baseball team like Bob Nutting is with the Pirates. So we'll see if I still hate Zach Arndt. Yeah, keep in mind, B.E.'s right. He texted in and reminded me about this. This is a show that used to do a segment that was titled, How Bad Are the Pirates Today? I actually made an intro for that. I am not doing a segment, B.E., that's called How Good Are the Pirates Today? Because that's a segment that lasts 6 days into the season, and you don't really get much out of that. You need a little bit more than just a 6-day thing.
So I know some Cubs fans that are kind of the same way that you are, and then they got sucked back in. They had some good years there. They got sucked back in and won a championship. And I mean, and the Red Sox were like that for a while. And I've got a buddy that that lives in Boston, has got season tickets, and he's like their ownership got in over their head. Got their salaries, made wrong decisions, just like other programs have. Or it's like the only team that can overcome those kind of decisions to me is the Dodgers or the Yankees, that they can just all right, we'll write off that debt. But yeah, you keep doing those max contracts.
And even the Pirates
aren't doing max contracts. So they did one, didn't they, just recently?
Not max. I don't remember how long they signed Brian Reynolds to, but
it was big.
It was a big contract by their standards. See, Bet Saracen's got the Pirates favored 1.5, minus 145 today. If you're interested in that, it's on the Bet Saracen app and all the other baseball games and Final Four coming up. Got the Masters just a couple of weekends away. If you want to put a little money on any of that, you want to do that on the Arkansas Ole Miss Baseball Series, have the Bet Saracen app on your phone. For Android users, download it on Google Play. For Apple users, it's on the App Store, and you can always type it into a web browser, betsaracen.com. Time to wrap up halftime in just a moment.
Do you need an oil change but don't have time to drop off your car? S&J Express Lube will let you sit in your car while they do the work, and it only takes about 15 minutes with no appointment needed. Prices start at $35.99 for a 20-point inspection service. S&J Express Lube is open Monday through Friday 9 till 6 and Saturdays 8 till noon. You'll find them at 14818 Highway 71 South in Jenny Lind. Check them out on Facebook too. S&J Express Lube, your authorized Castrol dealer in Sebastian County. They are waiting on you now.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. West Ark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact West Ark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com. Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call 479-319-5100.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
On the last flag. I know you.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
It's not every day you get a chance to see the head coach of the baseball team running stairs at Paul Walker Stadium, although I think it's something he does every day. There's DVH in a black Razorback hoodie. He is running the stairs at Paul Walker Stadium. Keeps himself in good shape. I haven't seen him throw batting practice in a while, but the guy can definitely throw a good BP. And he can still hit fungos with the best of them, and he's getting around pretty well. Yeah, for those who would say, yeah, he doesn't have the energy to be a head coach much longer in college baseball, may I present what I am watching right now? I think he's got plenty of energy.
So he used to just run the warning track all the way around the stadium, the little cinder gravel, whatever that is, and just stay on that, just do laps for like 30 minutes during the lunch hour. But now he's running the steps. Now he walks down the aisle and then he runs up the steps, right?
That's exactly right. He walks carefully down down the aisle because that's the best way to fall is to run it. Now, I've tried running stairs. The last time I did a stair run would have been at Florida Field, the football stadium in Gainesville, and I strained my knee doing that because those are a little taller steps. Matt, did you run stairs?
Don Decker had a thing we'd do part of it. You would actually walk the steps. It's almost like a lunge, so it's kind of like a slow burn. But every athlete has moments. Yeah,
everybody's done that. Yeah.
Yes, my best story about the west stands. No, it was actually the east stands at Razorback Stadium back in the day. Robert Dew, who was nicknamed Possum, because he would play dead sometimes during conditioning drills. I don't really know if that's what it was. That's what we always said. But he played in a freshman game at Tulsa, and he ran a punt back for a touchdown. Great athlete. And when he got into the end zone, he threw the ball up in the stands. Well, that got back to a lot of the varsity coaches didn't make that trip, but that got back to Wilson Matthews. And he had him on a Friday morning. They played that game Thursday night. Had a Friday morning, he met him at Razorback Stadium, and he had a barrel at the top of the stands, a barrel like a garbage can, plastic garbage can. And then he had 3 sacks of footballs, and he said, I need my footballs in that basket. And he told Possum to take them up there one at a time. And then he got all the footballs up there, and he said, you know what? I really need my footballs in the sack.
Take them back down.
One at a time. And afterwards he says, Robert, are you ever going to throw a ball in the stands? No, sir.
It's a good way to end the show here. By the way, Eric Musman is still the head coach at Arkansas, at least for the next few minutes. That's halftime for a Wednesday. Appreciate your calls and your texts. Thank you so much. And for Clay Henry and for Matt Jones and for the C Unit Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. Make sure you stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach. They're coming up in just a moment. And get up, get out, and get better.